aiming to double the number to 2.5 million within the next 3 years. Joseph Oyomo, KUTV.
Thank you so much, Joseph. And I think at that point now, it's the time for that interview that we've been telling you about all the time. Right now, we find that the sugar industry in Kenya has had a tumultuous ride for a minute, or should I say a long time. The sector is once again the topic of national debate as President Ruto moves to revive sugar mills. For the president, the train has already left the station. Peter Salasya joins me tonight to discuss this, and time allowing, we'll brush over the politics of the Western region. Mheshimiwa, if you can get me right now, first of all, good evening.
Evening, how are you? Yes, I'm very much fine.
Okay, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I was afraid we would not get hold of you, but first things first, when we were preparing for this interview, we heard that you could not join us live in studio because you are in Kisumu County. I understand that there is a stakeholder meeting that is bringing together stakeholders in this sugar sector. Is this the same event you're attending?
Yes, this is the same event that I'm attending. We are having a stakeholders meeting here. We are having two committees. One is the Committee of Agriculture, and another one is the Committee of Finance and Planning. So both, we are about to deliberate on the two sugar factories that are public owned. And that is Miwani Sugar, Sony Sugar, Chenil Sugar. Then we have Nzoia Sugar. I think there should be 5. That is Nzoia Sugar, Miwani Sugar, Chenil Sugar, and Sony Sugar, and Moroni Sugar, yes.
Okay.
So, and also touching on Mumias Sugar also.
Okay. I believe as we proceed, we'll be narrowing down, especially to Mumias. But we've had several of these stakeholder meetings. Do you believe that
yes,
at least now the one that you are attending, the one in Kisumu right now, is going to solve this? Are you finally going to have something tangible, something that is going to solve the problem of Mumias once and for all?
First of all, mainly the problems of Mia Sugar has been partly been solved, but we have some key issues that we are looking for. We want the government to come in. Number one is to thank the president for coming out firmly and telling those people that they have one choice to remove those cases from the court. Because you see, there's no any way that you can be buying justice for any one individual and at the expense of millions of other Kenyans who's supposed to, because this law is made for the Kenyans, and the law should not be made the law that will be there to frustrate the Kenyans and deny them what they ought to have. And that's why I want to thank the president for coming out clearly and say that this time around we must get it right. And he said it, that you have only option to remove those cases. And you saw, because I've been all along demonstrating, I've been always calling upon the Martha Koome, the Chief Justice, to come in the issue and address, because the courts have been held hostage by the same cartel. So, and immediately the president came out clearly. You saw all of them coming out and removing those cases. And after removing those cases, we can now see that immediately now the AFA removes what they call the ban on millers, to stop operation. Then Mia Sugar will start operation. But now there is one thing that now I'm urging, and I want to ask the president also to help us, so that now KCB, because now we had they were doing the sugar milling, but now we had what you call the ethanol production, the distillery part of it, and cogeneration. Because without the two, the company cannot be effective enough in terms of production. So we are now expecting that Vatox, which owns the distillery plant, will have to swallow the ego and come and agree with Kenya Commercial Bank, so that now they can make that ethanol production to kick off and start operation, and also to ask the cogeneration so that they can start now selling the power to Kenya Power and to the national grid, and also the ethanol production to start off. So I think that is, and also I'm also pushing for the sake of the farmers, that now, because with the report that was tabled in the House before we went for the recession, where the government had come up to they call it what, to write off some debts for the companies that have state-owned factories or companies or parastatals to that extent. But I feel like Mia Sugar was not part of the state-owned companies.
Okay.
So what I'm pushing for is that, yes?
Yes, Mheshimiwa, just to take you back, you have clearly stated that you believe in what the president said when he toured your region just the other day, and he said something that has become, the talk of the nation right now, the famous Mambo ni Matatu, only three things for you. You either leave this country, you get yourself on the highway to heaven, and the other one. And when you look at what is happening, I have seen Jacqueline Kimeto, who is a lawyer actually, has said she was forced. She recanted or removed her petition from the High Court at a time when she was under duress. In fact, in a statement that she released again, she's saying that I want back. She's getting back, she's getting on with this case. That aside, what assurance do we have that when all these cases have been dropped, now Mumias will finally function?
There's a statement you made. She said what?
Yeah, she's said she's going, again, she's reinstating her case. She's back in court again.
I think one thing she ought to understand that yes, we have the rule. She has his own right, but she should understand that she cannot hold the entire Western hostage just because of her own selfish interest. And that one we want to ask the president to go for them, because this Kimeto has been the problem for Mia Sugar for a very long time. And we want to tell them that this time around, this country needs a firm president. And if it means to have the dictator president, let us have a dictator president and dictate for this country. For what reason should we be all the time talking about this issue? I think the president should come out and crush these people, because it is high time that we cannot tolerate such kind of nonsense, because they refuse to go and follow the procedure, because the law is very clear about a company going under receivership. Who are the creditor and who are unsecured creditor, and it highlights why does she wants to go and bring all the time injustice.
Again, Mheshimiwa.
And want to, yes.
Again, Mheshimiwa, whatever you are saying can be contested using the same law you are referring to, because when you say that we even need a dictator president and all that, I want to take it that those are your personal opinions and you are entitled to them, but the petitioner says...
Yes.
Jacqueline Kimeto says that she was currently, at the time of writing this letter, she told the Deputy Registrar of the High Court that she was being subjected to force, threats of imprisonment, coercion, threats to her life, and extreme psychological pressure to withdraw her petition, which she had filed with the court on the 20th and the 22nd March 2019, without any mention as to how her money decrease shall be settled in full. hers is, I delivered services to Mumias. I've not received the money that Mumias owes me, and that's what I'm going for. Mheshimiwa, if you were in her position, what would you do?
Okay, no one refuses to give them their money. But the law is very clear. When a company goes under receivership, what is it that is needed to be done? Because she has been all along trying to hold this company hostage and trying to use the likes of Kanarai have been using her. But we want to know. She must also get to prove to the court, like Amma says that this is what I offered, and then they follow the procedure. What is the need for her to stop this company? How will she be paid when this company is closed, and she wants to be paid? She wants to be paid from where?
Okay, I think we'll
she
move
wants
on.
To be paid from where?
I think we'll move on from. I think we'll move on from that. So what is happening is right now. Just the other day, I think you were in your home area and you led this demonstration. Again, it was about the issue of Mumias. What are the solutions? What other solutions exist? The president has spoken. We are waiting to see if his words will be followed by actions. But aside from what the president is saying, once we get Rai out of the way, what are other solutions that are going to help us ensure that Mumias is up and running?
First of all, the unhealthy competition that has been there. And you see, these court cases have been being sponsored by certain people. So once Rai, he wants to monopolize this industry called sugar. And we want to have, as much as they are in the industry, let them, and that's why the industry of sugar is suffering. And that is why we are trying to come up with measures that can heal this kind of, the kind of confusion in the industry. So one of the key solutions that we have, that we are having a sugar bill that is in the house, that definitely is going to bring order out of the confusion that we have been having. And some of the areas that we have looked in at as the bill, we have like what you call the sugar board is going to handle that confusion. We also have things to do with the cane development, where we are introducing a sugar levy, whereby it's going to help the farmers to develop canes. Because like you see, like right now, the millers have been closed because of shortage of canes. So because most millers, they want to compete on the few canes that are available, but they don't want to cultivate those canes. So we want to bring discipline in the industry. That is number one. But coming back on the issue of Mumias, what the president says that tunataka cartels wote watoke. So once Rai understands that is out of his way, we are not saying that we are chasing, but he has to leave Mumias to run. That is number one. So other people, like even the Kimeto, she will have to explain to the court about the 77 million that she's saying to prove it. And then the court should be also flexible, because the courts have been postponing this issue of cases. Like today, they say the case is going to be heard after 2 months. They have closed the company. So what is the importance of that? That's why the president, I support the president on this matter. And any leader who criticizes the president on this matter that he's wrong, then I have no reason of listening to such kind of a leader. So let me just also remind the president that he has also to go full swing and make sure that these cases are removed out completely. As much as we are having, she's going to take to the court, but the judge should not stop the operation of Mumias Sugar. That one we will not accept, and we'll go back to the conversation.
Okay, Mheshimiwa, at this point,
yes,
do you still believe in the rule of law?
yes, I believe in the rule of law, but the rule of law should not be used to infringe the rights of the millions of people there outside there who are suffering. How can we say that we are protecting an interest of one person and at the expense of the millions of other people?
Okay,
Why?
you've proven that you still believe in the rule of law, at least well, from your
The
words.
golden rule. No, let me tell you, the golden rule speaks it out. Like, as much as we are looking for your right, no one is disputing about her money, if that is the case. First, she understands that she is an unsecured creditor. There is a procedure. She should also come out clearly and tell the people that this is it, and maybe if you can go through what happens when a company goes under receivership, what happens with the unsecured creditor, and what happens with secured creditors. So it's something that is clear. Why can't she follow the procedure? So if she doesn't want to follow the procedure, but she wants to use the court, and she's using the court to stop an idea. Okay, to my position, could be she could have accepted yes, which we don't argue, that yes, the Mumias, she needs money from Mumias because of the services that she offered. No one is refusing that, number one. Then number two, now, let us allow the Mumia Sugar to continue with the operation as we await the court to guide us. What is the fate of secured creditors? What is the fate of unsecured creditor? As simple as that. Once we get to understand that, but other than going to court and telling the court to stop operation of Mumias until her case is heard. What is important of that?
Okay, Mheshimiwa, apart from that, now once we have the sugar millers up and running again, is there any plan to adopt productive cane varieties?
Okay, that is why we are here in Kisumu. We have had a very maybe if I can just we have like you see the problem we are having right now today, the kind of they call them what, the kind of varieties that are being applied in this country. They are those varieties that were brought 1979, and the maturity for those canes is about 18 months. But because of India, they're applying that. That's why now we want to have what you call the KUTV. This is a body that we want to put in the act, and which is in the Sugar Act, that will be mandated to look for canes that can mature faster. Maybe at most 14 months, 12 months, 13 months. They should look at countries that are doing good in terms of and have the same climate, like Pakistan. We have India. We have there's various of them. So we are going to have this, and then we are going to have experts from Brazil, wherever. They have to do the work. It is to do the research, and once they do the research, they should tell us that this can maturity, because now waiting for 18 months is long period. So those are some of the things that makes the shortages of canes in the region. Once we have cane variety that can take 14 months maximum or 12 months, then we'll be okay. And that's why we want to focus on this issue of sugar research, whereby we want that it should be like an authority on its own, and this authority should be funded and be given powers and do research, and help farmers to develop those canes that mature faster.
Okay, as part of the government's plan to revive these mills, I have seen there is a proposal that will be hitting the National Assembly, I believe, next week. And in it, we are seeing that there will be a leasing where we will be able to bring private capital on board, expertise, and just to modernize all these industries. The factory in this arrangement will still belong to the government, but the running will be done by private individuals. Right now we are having Miwani and Muhoroni being under receivership. In the same proposals, there are mergers that have been proposed. Nzoia and Sugar will remain very independent, running on their own. Then Chemelil and Muhoroni have been merged or proposed to be merged so that whoever bids for the lease bids for both companies. So in this plan, I can see that Mumias Sugar will have a separate recovery plan. But this proposal, what do you make of this proposal, Maheshimiwa? Do you think that it is a viable one? It is a working one? Will it work for the sugarcane farmers? For example, from the place where you come, I understand you have sugarcane farmers there.
Okay, that's very true, because looking at Moroni and Miwani, those were the proposal, but we are getting views from the stakeholders, and some they are saying that they are not interested. They don't want Miwani and Moroni to be merged together. They want each to be independent on its own. Because we are meeting with stakeholders, like today we met with the NCAs, we met with the MPs. They have own there, because each company has its own niche, it has its own uniqueness. So we want to know as we are here, because tomorrow we'll also be meeting with the governors from the regions. We'll also be meeting with the farmers. We'll also be meeting with the millers in the region. We'll also be meeting with various stakeholders, cooperatives, and everything. So from there, we'll be able to conclude which is the best approach for Miwani, which will be the best approach for Moroni, which will be the best approach for Chemelil, which will be the best approach for Nzoia. And then from that point of view, we'll be able to give a conclusive report on this issue, on this matter, but what they have refused is about privatization, because we know, like, privatization is the one that has caused the problems in Mumias Sugar, because its privatization was never done properly, and it affected. In fact, even the problems they are having today, and that's why the government is only having 20% shares.
Okay,
so
we are coming to the tail end of this. I'm having a comment from a viewer here, Israel Mwai, saying, please, quick question, ask Mheshimiwa, what are some of the efforts Western MPs have put in place to ensure Butali and West Sugar Mills are back in place? Okay, number
one, what we just want is we want unhealthy competition, because recently you heard that West Kenya has to pay Butali 500 million. It's because of that competition, unhealthy competition. So we want what we call the system support of the industry in the sector, whereby West Kenya can support Butali, Butali can support West Kenya can support Mumias, Mumias can support West Kenya. So that is what we want. But meanwhile, once we are still taking the census of the cans, we are getting the reports from the AFA. Once they get the reports from the AFA that the cans are enough, and then we also want, when the AFA gives a launch to go on, we will want Mumias Sugar to also to be operational, so that Mumias, as West starts Butali, Mumias should be also on. So we are waiting for the report from the AFA. Once they tell us that they have enough cans, the cans are available, because as you see, the southern Nyanza part, that is Sony and Transmara, Kwale, they are in operation. But this problem of the other side of the Nyando, Sugar Belt, and Western, that is the Kakamega Western part, and Busia, they have closed. So for the MPs who are in the region, I don't know what they are playing, because if you are not playing, okay, because now they're talking about they're talking about West Kenya and Butali. So I don't know what they're doing, but I believe because today I've heard that they're going to have a meeting, sugar conference. But today I have not heard them coming to this meeting whereby we were taking a feedback from MPs, leaders today, but they didn't come for this meeting. So I don't know where are they fighting from for the sugar industry. I don't know, because they have said that they're having a sugar conference in Kakamega. Mm-hmm. Where are they going to take that report when we are handling this report at this time?
Okay.
So anyway, that is what I can say.
Okay. So for clearance, just to be clear here, is when you say AFA, you mean the Agriculture and Food Authority, AFA?
Yes.
All right. So just one question on politics. The president was in your region the other day. I saw leaders from across the political divide joining the president. But then the UDA Secretary General Cleophas Malala is really pushing for Western parties that have their roots in the Western region to fold and join UDA. Are you and your DAP party crossing over to support President William Ruto anytime soon?
No, me, I'm not. Okay, I'm not in Kenya Kwanza, so I can't comment about their affairs. So it's upon them, but we unite with the president to fight corruption. That is what I know. The only thing I know about is that to support the president to fight corruption. That one is 100% support, sure, to the president. Other issues of issues zingine kama sijui doing what about which party to unfold and join what